Okay, hello guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how we're going to be able to render out our scene. Let's see. So we're going to be using the default render. Let me just open my projects. Remember, you guys have to save your project all the time. So I think my project is open. Okay, so this is our project, and this is our bottle itself, and then let's just go ahead and add textures and create textures so that we can render this thing out. So if I go down to standard, like I just hit here to go to standard, and then I double click on this area. You can double click to create a default material, or you can go down to create materials and a bunch of materials there. You can choose new PBR, or you can just go down and create another one. PBR materials are physically based. I don't know what the R is, but you get what I mean. Does not matter. So we're just going to carry this material and we're going to drop it on our bottle itself. So if we double tap and we open up the material editor, we can go down, and remember we're trying to make this bottle to be transparent. So it's transparency. Oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, transparency. You can click that on and then immediately it becomes transparent. All the transparent objects. So let's see how that looks. So before we can even render, we can actually render this and it will render out like this. This is where we are currently at. So we can actually go in and then we can change from standard to physical. And then when we change it to physical, um, we can add sampling quality, can change up to high, depending on the power of your PC. And then we can add other interesting things like what do you call this, global illumination and color mapping. On that global illumination we can add another type of global illumination. It depends on actually what you want to do. You can play around with this, you can just go around and play around with it and get a feel of what it is. So that being said, that's all for our render settings. So now let's add lights. Let's add light to our environment. Let's drag an area light. Yeah, that's an area light. And lighting is a very easy and simple thing. Let's carry the lights just to the side here. Let's make it bigger. It's just a little bit wider, just a little bit. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. This is like a warm lighting. Now let's render it and see how this looks like. So now it's going to create the GI, and this stuff that it does where it's kind of doing left right, that's bucket rendering. There are two types of rendering. There's progressive and there's bucket. So this is quite slow, but it should be more accurate. Yeah, it is very boring. But there's one thing you guys should know is that there are different types of render engines, and it depends on what you want to do. That will depend on the render engine you're using. The type of render we are using now, the type of rendering we're doing now is CPU rendering. That is why it's so slow. If Cinema 4D's native apps use CPU rendering to render out things. But then I use V-Ray because I have a GPU and that's way faster. Another thing you should know is that it takes time to render reflective materials. So the less reflective your materials, the faster it goes. You can see how it's moving fast now. Yeah, like that. So the less reflective it is, the faster it is to render. The more reflective, the more transparent it is, the longer your render is going to take. So now this looks nice, but we're getting the materials, but there's nothing inside. Let's even change it down to a standard render. Let's say standard render. Let's leave it as standard. I believe standard is faster, and yeah, it's about the same results. So now we're not getting the stuff that we want. I think that's basically because there's no void in the middle. So let's create a void in the middle of the object itself. So we're going to carry this object and we're going to create a transform. So we're going to make a duplicate of this object. And the easiest way to do that is if we hold Control and we drag a copy up. So now we have another copy. Now I'm going to teach you guys something called Boolean operation. It's like carrying an object and using to separate another object. But first we have to make this smaller because we want this to be the space that is inside. So I'm going to make this smaller like this. And then let's move to our side view. This is our side view. And now we are going to drag this inside here, just like that. And then I also want to stretch it here, just like that. And then we can go in, pick our highest point in the cycle and then drag that one up till it comes out. We want this other space to be a void. So once that is done, let's just move the light here. Let's name this inside. Okay, let's name that inside. So now once that is done, then we can do our Boolean operation, and you can find that over here. Boolean, yes, that's the Boolean. You carry the two of them inside. No, not the cover, the body. Yeah, and it should have. Yeah, look at that. Now we have a void in the middle. We have a very clear void in the middle. Now this feels like a bottle. Let's just render that and see how that looks like. Now that looks like a bottle. Oh yeah, let's add our material. Let's add our material, sorry. Now let's render that again. Now would you look at that? Now that looks more like a realistic bottle. That looks like that's very realistic now. And whenever you use anything paid, any kind of paid extra render engine or anything special, we're just using that, and that's giving us our realistic bottle itself. So now remember we have an image that we're using for our stuff, and then from the image itself we can see that the bottle is blue in nature, so we can do that. But first thing first, let's make our cover to be white. Let's also add another material, and then we carry that material and we drop it on the cover itself. So now when we go back, we have the material on the cover. I'll just show you guys that this material is actually working. I can go in here and I can change the color. Let's say I change the color to oh, wow, I was so scared. I thought the thing I thought the thing stopped working. Okay, let's say I go inside and I change the color to oh no, I'm not in the color window. This is the color window, sorry. Let's say I go in and I change the material. You can see it's changing. It's changing. We can leave that as that. Let's just say we want all mine to be blue. It mustn't follow the reference. Then you can come in here and you can also change the color of the transparency down to blue. Remember our bottle is blue. Now let's change our cover back to white, or let's make it pink. Pink cover, transparent blue bottle. Now let's render that out and see what that looks like. Please do not crash. Oh, oh my god. Irradiance cache. I'm coming. Wow, this is taking so long. I think the reason why this is taking so long is because it has to calculate the light that's going to pass through the board itself. I believe that's why it's taking so long, and the CPU rendering is quite slow. So like that's basically how you go about creating realistic material. Look at that, that looks very good. And then remember we have GI. GI is light bouncing off surfaces. So let's just go around and complete our scene. Let's just create this. This is a plane. I picked the plane from over here and I dropped it, and then I created this whole thing around right here. So now we can also add another light to the side. And there's one thing I like doing, and that's adding a dome light, like a very big light. I can't see a dome light here, but let's add another area light, and this time around let's make it on top. Yes, from the top. And now this is going to be our final render. Like, this is going to be our final render. And if you want to save your render, let me just show you how you're going to save and render it out to your laptop itself. So you go down to settings and then you go down to save, and then this shows you a bunch of places where you can save it and how you can go about saving. So the format we want to use is the different formats, but let's just use, you can use JPG, you can use PNG. Let's just use the PNG. Then you tap this icon here. Oh wow, battery low. Oh my god. You tap this icon here, and then let's go to 3D objects. Let's go to classes and let's just create a render file here. R for render. Go in, name it 1, press save. So if you render this out, it's going to save as a PNG to that location. So you can click this to stop this, Ctrl S to save, and then you can click Shift R, or you can just click render to picture viewer. And that is going to render out our scene itself. So it's going to take a lot of time, CPU rendering, and then you can check your progress down here, so you can see your progress of how long it's going to take to render this scene out. So yeah, that's just basically how you go about rendering this. Tell me if you guys like this. I need you guys to ask me questions so that I can make more videos. So I'll see you guys in the next class. Thank you.